Good afternoon. This is NTV At One. My name is Gladys Gachanja. We start off with police having detained two suspects in the fake gold syndicate for 5 days. The two were arrested on Thursday at the KQ Cargo Center while ferrying fake gold in an Isuzu canter from the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Police intercepted the vehicle, which was then driven to the DCI headquarters along Kiambu Road. The two suspects, Joshua Gaya Anyanga and Evanson Njoroge Mwangi, on Friday morning presented at the Milimani Law Courts. They will be detained at Muthaiga and Gigiri police stations. The prosecution requested for time to call witnesses in an identification parade, hence their detention by the police. Police have in their possession several exhibits, including mobile phones, video footage from CCTV surveillance cameras, and business documents that will be used in court proceedings. During the interception, police detained another vehicle that was escorting the Isuzu canter, and the car model is a Nissan X-Trail registration number KBP 204C. Furthermore, police recovered 26 metallic boxes used to carry out the offense. Still on security matters, 7 people have died in 2 days in clashes between the Borana and Gabra communities in Marsabit County. 3 women and 2 children died in an attack on Boru Haro, which left 6 others injured and hospitalized in Marsabit Hospital. The dead are Gabras. On Thursday, 2 people were killed in Kilta Koma that left 2 Borana community members dead. NTV's Fantuma Bugu with those details.
Attackers reportedly surrounded Boru Haro early this morning before unleashing violence that left 3 women and 2 children dead. The villagers were mainly Gabra. 6 of them remain hospitalized after what appears to have been a revenge attack sparked by an attack on Wednesday night. The Wednesday night attack that appears to have sparked events this morning was in Kutakoma, Marsabit County, where 2 people were killed by gunmen who ambushed by their homestead and who stole nothing after the attack.
Watu wa Marsabit wanamalizwa kwa ajili ya siasa. Hakuna kitu kingine. And in this case, both the master and the agent are political losers of 2017, and that is why Marsabit people have to pay dearly, because some people have to come back to power.
Speaking during the burial of the 2 people who were brutally killed, Mohammed Ali, the governor in Marsabit County, urged the government to conduct thorough investigations to unearth the motive behind the attack and to bring the perpetrators to book.
Some constituents lose a friend, 1 person, 2 people or 3 people. We normally see the CS for interior rushing to that spot. Here in Marsabit, we have lost close to 30 men. Government has never done enough.
The killings are now seen as a red flag of possible unrest in an area that has in the past seen bloodshed on account of interclan conflicts.
The government of Kenya, if indeed it is stable, it must come clean. It must protect the people of Marsabit County. It must protect the lives of the people of Marsabit and together with their properties. We cannot cry January to December.
Earlier this month, 11 people perished in a gruesome attack over a watering point dispute in Forole along the Kenya-Ethiopian border.
We now call upon Matiang'i to make an earlier visit to Marsabit if indeed he wants to term us as Kenyans. And that is not enough. I want to make this an appeal to His Excellency the President that all lives are worthy and all lives are equal.
5 people, including 2 women and 3 school children from Gabra community, have also been killed.
Just 2 months ago, in Moyale, the Gabra community under their leadership from Ethiopia declared peaceful coexistence between Borana and the Gabra. But the political leadership of the Gabra are not comfortable with that. So they have been planning every other time, causing irritation.
The locals want the government to help ensure that peace prevails. Fatma Bugu, NTV.
Now, the caretaker task force that was appointed by Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya 2 days ago to oversee the operations of Mumias Sugar Company has been sworn in. This is despite protests from the company management that insists that the governor has no powers to make such appointments, and a section of farmers that accuse the governor of overstepping. Zacchaeus Mosame has been following this story and now joins us live with an update. That is Zacchaeus, if you can hear me.
Thank you, Gladys. We are coming to you live from Kakamega County here. And like you mentioned, the task force that was formed by the Kakamega Governor, Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya, to oversee the turnaround plan and revival plan for that matter of the struggling Mumias Sugar Company was sworn in today. That committee consists of 12 members. There are 2 from the administration of the factory, that is the union and the management. We have MCS on that board and also some employees from the county government of Kakamega. Now, joining me this minute is the chairperson of that task force, who also doubles up as the CEC member of trade for Kakamega County, Kasimwere. You are just sworn this morning. Maybe what do you expect from you?
For my dear viewers, especially from Kakamega County, as a task force which was formed by His Excellency the Governor of Kakamega County, we are looking forward to coming out with the problem analysis of what caused the collapse of Mumias Sugar Company. We will look at the causes, we will look at the effects of what happened, then we will come up with interventions on how to be able to resolve the issues that happened in Mumias Sugar Company. As a task force, we are also going to be able to look at what we can be able to protect for the shareholders who are people who have invested heavily in Mumias Sugar Company. We are also going to be able to look at other assets that are available within the Mumias region that are strategic, like the Mumias Sugar Company, and see ways in which you can be able to secure them. We are also going to look at the goodwill of everybody to ensure that we be able to succeed and bring back this giant that has been there for quite some time. On behalf of the members of the committee, I believe that we can be able to turn around the factory, and we are hoping that this will go a long way to improving the economic activities of the county.
We have had some protests from the factory management. Maybe how are you going to handle this?
I think there was a misconception. This is a mediation process. One of the key objectives we want to achieve is to collaborate with the management of the Sugar Company to see which areas we can be able to touch to ensure that the company comes to light. And I believe that the misconception of the takeover and all that should be put behind so that we can be able to put the factory as one of the key elements we want to be able to bring up.
Thank you for your time. That was Kasimwere, the chairperson of the task force that was formed by Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya to just, like we mentioned earlier, to oversee the revival plan for Mumias Sugar Company. From me, Zakis Masame here in Kakamega, back to your studio.
We apologize for that technical difficulty, but now we're back on track and still looking at some of the day top stories and the family of an 18-year-old girl who was defiled and murdered by a pastor in Trans Nzoia County says justice has finally prevailed. This comes after a High Court in Kitale sentenced the pastor to 25 years imprisonment after being found guilty of defiling, impregnating and later killing the secondary school student in 2011.
Engulfed in shame, 30-year-old Pastor Charles Nyachwara appeared before Justice Hilary Chimitei, who said evidence presented before the court had proven that Nyachwara, who served at the Yuya Pentecostal Assemblies of God PAG Church, is guilty of killing the minor to save his image. Nyachwara, who was facing charges on molesting a child, was released on bail, and it is after his release that he approached Scholastica's family and offered to settle the matter out of court and to marry the girl. Her parents, however, refused his offer, and he is said to have stabbed the student to death using a kitchen knife on July 7, 2011, in a bid to safeguard his image. Postmortem reports submitted in the court earlier revealed that the deceased was carrying triplets. The faster then fled to Mbale in Uganda and was only rearrested around 2016 and charged afresh with Scholastica's defilement and murder. Matthew Kipkeu, a retired teacher, testified before the court that he witnessed the convict attack the girl. In his defense, the convict claimed the girl was his fiancée and that her family were opposed to their wedding plans because he came from a different ethnic group.
About the mitigation by both sides, I agree that the minor, literally, that girl was a minor, isn't it? Suffered cruel death in your hands. I sentence you to 25 years in prison.
The minor's father, Paul Mbihi, said he will not appeal the ruling, but felt the court was a bit lenient on the man who took the life of his daughter.
There is no amount of punishment could bring back my daughter. I only wanted justice for my daughter to be served. The pain the family had suffered was not worth conviction. So whatever we have just witnessed today, me, I agree with the judge.
Amefunga miaka 25 hata nikipendelea afungwe zaidi. Niko na huzuni sana. Heri huyo pastor angemwacha kuliko kumuua. Angemwacha tu.
Sisi naye ndio tuliona mbaya kama mimi jirani wa karibu sana. Kuwa msichana wa jirani wangu na kumbe ndani mwake ana watoto 3 wote waine. Tungali tunalalamika paka wa leo na kama hukumu imeingia kwa yeye, wacha hukumiwe kulingana na matendo yake yenye alitenda.
The convict has 14 days to appeal.
Elsewhere, mob in Gachanja lynched a man after he attempted to kill his 78-year-old father. The angry mob pounced on him as he was torturing his father with a knife. The father to the deceased has been rushed to Kiambu Referral Hospital, where he is undergoing treatment.
The deceased was killed by a mob as he was about to kill his 78-year-old father. It is alleged that this is not the first time the deceased had engaged in such an act, as he had earlier injured his 3 siblings in similar fashion, and they too were saved by neighbors. The neighbors reported that the deceased pretended to be deaf and dumb and was later released by the police as a result.
20 choo, hata choo tuwezi enda juu wako karibu na choo. Ametua tu kutusumbua tukienda posta hakuna kenye inashughulikiwa.
Mimi hata tukipatana naye kwa barabara huwa anaenda mbio. Sisimami.
Neighbors are asking the police to be vigilant to the cry of the people for increased security. The man's father was rushed to Kiambu Referral Hospital for treatment. Helen Aura, NTV.
To yet another really sad incident, residents of Manyata sub-county in Kisumu Frog marched a 34-year-old father to Kondele police station on suspicion of defiling his 2 daughters aged 10 and a deaf 5-year-old girl.
The man, Crispin Otieno, a boda rider, has been living with his wife and 2 daughters and allegedly committing the acts on his children. Neighbors got suspicious after they saw the girls walking with difficulty and alerted Joseph Owor, a voluntary children's officer operating in Kondele. The mother, Irene Akinyi, claims that she knew that her children were being defiled but never reported to the police. Her excuse is that she did not know who did it.
Nilikuwa tuna doubt kuna mtu mwenye anafanyia mtoto wangu mdogo nini mbaya. Sasa sikuchukua action.
When the irate neighbors heard her story, they beat her up before taking her to the chief.
She has neglected her role. Because when something is happening to your child and you're not just watching and you know what is hurting the child and you don't respond, that means that it's negligence of the law.
Irene is in police custody and the minors have been taken to Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital for treatment. Helen Wanjohi, NTV.
To the coast now, a primary school teacher in Mombasa has been charged with sodomizing his two pupils. Alphas Mukangali pleaded guilty to one count of sodomy and committing an indecent act with minors. The suspect, who appeared before Senior Resident Magistrate Christine Ogweno, denied a similar charge involving another minor. The prosecution said the suspect was tasked with providing private tuition to the minors when he allegedly committed the offense. The suspect, however, asked the court for more time to properly comprehend the charges before pleading to them. Mukangali committed the offense on April the 26th this year at Kizingo area in Mombasa, and the suspect has been remanded in police custody pending fact reading and sentencing on May the 29th. After a series of unfortunate incidents, let's put a smile on our faces and remind ourselves that NTV is back on the road, this time to county number 33, county that is Narok County. And this weekend, we're going big from that county as we comprehensively cover that part of the country. Now, our team is already getting ready to deliver another winning weekend in the hashtag SOBA edition. And they now join us live. We are joined by Edmund Nyabola. Edmund, where are you? What's going on? What can we expect?
And Soba Loma Sai from county number 33 to you, Gladys, and our viewers. We are here, NTV on the road in Narok County, starting this evening, of course, with 7 p.m. news, NTV Jioni, and 9 p.m. NTV Weekend Edition here as well. When you think about Narok, you think about the Maasai. And when you think about the Maasai, you think about the Maasai culture, which has become to be known as, you know, the signature Kenyan culture, so to speak. So you're talking about their regalia, you're talking about the food, you're talking about tradition, you know, their love for livestock, among other issues. We will be covering all that, as well as agriculture, which is at the core of the economic activities in this county. Wheat farming, barley, maize as well. They are the largest, by the way, producers of wheat in the country. So we'll be talking about that as well. Tourism. The Masai Mara Game Reserve is just a few kilometers from here, about 100 kilometers from Narok town, where we are right now. One of the biggest tourist destinations in the country, voted about 7 times as Africa's best tourist destinations as a result of the wildebeest migration from June all the way to October. So we will be there live on Sunday for our broadcast at 9 p.m. as well, to focus on the tourist attractions there, what the county has to offer in terms of agriculture, in terms of tourism, in terms of culture, in terms of other issues around education, and how the county government has functioned and has been able to deliver on its promises ever since the advent of devolution in 2013. So that's what we will be covering. The team is already here. We are already working on some stories from this evening. So join us then as we enjoy some Maasai culture and beautiful stories from county number 33 in Narok. Gladys?
Definitely looking forward to all that and much, much more. Edmund Nyabola, part of a team that is representing NTV in Narok County number 33, even as NTV goes back on the road. To other stories, and over 500 students from Kenya Medical Training College Kisumu campus are protesting a decision by the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital management to bar them from training at the institution. Now, the standoff between the two institutions began when students opposed the construction of a 1 billion shilling cancer facility on a piece of land within the institution. KMTC Kisumu Principal Dr. Kelly Olwoch decried the situation, saying learners were forced to conduct their trainings at the facilities in neighboring counties. KMTC is now requesting that the students be allowed to continue with their clinical assessments in the institution. To Machakos County, and the Governor Alfred Mutua has ordered the streamlining of operations at Machakos Level 5 facility to make it conducive and convenient to patients. This follows an impromptu tour of Machakos Level 5 hospital where he caught the staff by surprise and found scores of patients in the emergency department who are supposed to be in the outpatient section. The county boss, however, said sending patients back and forth with receipts should be done away with. Machakos is among the 4 counties that have rolled out the World Bank and Kenya government-sponsored universal healthcare coverage and has witnessed a massive influx of patients who enjoy absolutely free services, including X-rays, CT scans and tests. The county government of Nairobi has launched a biometric management system meant to check the problem of ghost workers. County government officials are accused of conspiring with the human resource and accounts departments to earn multiple salaries through multiple entries on the payroll. NTV's Helen Wanjohi tells us more.
Nairobi county workers will now be identified using biometrics in a fresh attempt to weed out ghost workers and those who are unskilled and aged. An audit that was done in 2017 revealed that more than 100 million shillings every month in salaries was paid to more than 2,000 ghost workers. The audit found some workers appear on the payroll up to 5 times using the same numbers but different identity cards. Other workers were retired or deceased employees who continued to draw salaries. Present during the launch was Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko, who noted that a section of Nairobi City County employees had become corrupt by giving minimum time at work and spending their productive hours running their private businesses. The biometric system will be able to monitor the workers to maximize their output.
Nairobi City County government has the 3rd highest number of employees, way down from the Teachers Service Commission and the National Police Service Commission. Managing such a huge workforce requires investment in modern technology, whereby every staff is accounted for on a monthly, weekly, daily, and hourly basis.
With the new biometric system, the general public will be able to verify genuine county staff before engaging in any transaction by sending an SMS containing the employee number to a short code that will be provided.
The launch of the biometric data system in Nairobi is a pace-setter in which all counties will follow suit in order to reduce the wage bill burden. Helen Wanjohi, NTV.
Now, the Nation Media Group last evening hosted auctioneers to a cocktail at its headquarters. Now, the engagement with auctioneers comes as the business becomes more mainstream in the economy. In the past, auctioneers say they have had their name tainted by the actions of a few who have handled the seizure of property forcefully, ending up in collateral damage. The growth of business has roped in more auctioneers and, as a result, fostered professionalism in the execution of court orders and sale of property. Auctioneers contribute about 100 million shillings in revenue to the Nation Media Group.
Unfortunately, there's no licensed auctioneer who can afford to do anything wrong. Get it from me. You must have a certain court order, you must have some certain enforcement, you must have the law enforcers with you.
Most people think that auctioneers are only men. And as ladies being there, it means it's a noble business just like any other. We don't fight. We approach debtors in the right way. We explain to them, those who don't understand the law, we explain to them, and then we will do what we are supposed to do. Otherwise, this is a noble business just like any other. And I will encourage anybody else, even ladies who are around here who are not auctioneers, they are most welcome to join us.
The media and the public only look at the negative aspects of auctioneering, but we play a very critical role. In fact, was it not for auctioneering, Kenyans who have a propensity for doing whatever they want would have a field day.
We appreciate the partnership and the relationship that we've had with you. At NMG, we value the customers. We are concerned about your performance. We are concerned about your success because we know if you do well, we will also do well.
Well, an interesting perspective of auctioneers. Time for the sporting action. Sean Cadovillas is in studio.
The Shindana Stars promotion. A grand prize shillings 1 million to be won.
Latest sports news now. Kenyan Sam Taylor has successfully got to the summit of the world's highest peak, Mount Everest, following a 2-month expedition to raise money for rangers in the country to protect wildlife from poachers. Taylor reached the summit on Thursday and planted the Kenya flag. However, his partner Peter Newland had to abandon the climb a couple of days before the final push to the summit, and that was due to illness. Taylor is the founder of 4 Rangers, a dedicated group of individuals who are raising money for the welfare of rangers who risk their lives daily to protect Africa's endangered species. Mount Everest reaches an official height of 29,029 feet, and the summit is located in the Himalayas on the international border between China and Nepal. 2008 Beijing Olympian Milka Akinyi and former world champions duo of Mary Muriru and Michael Ochieng headlined the list of players named by the Kenya Taekwondo Federation to represent Kenya at the 12th edition of the Africa Games in Rabat, Morocco, and that's taking place in August. The team of 8 men and 8 women was selected from the just concluded trials for the selection of players who will then head for the 3-week training camp in Cairo, Egypt. Kenya will be seeking to put away their poor show in the last edition in Congo Brazzaville when they take on perennial competition from hosts Morocco, Nigeria, Egypt, Tunisia, Algeria, Nigeria and Ivory Coast. Bundesliga side Stuttgart were held to a 2-2 draw by second division Union Berlin, who twice came from a goal down in the first leg of their relegation promotion playoff on Thursday. The hosts scored 3 minutes before the breakthrough from Christian Gettner. Their joy lasted only seconds, though, as Berlin levelled in the 43rd through Suleiman Abdullahi. A substitute Mario Gomez put the hosts back in front in the 51st minute, but again Berlin battled back, equalising through Marvin Friedrichs, a powerful header from a corner in the 68th. Cologne and Paderborn won automatic promotion. Helped by Kawhi Leonard's game-high 35 points.
definitely a lot more news coming your way in our subsequent bulletins. Stay with NTV. My name is Gladys Gachanja.